Hi, Sandy here. If you've been watching my videos for a while, you know that I am obsessed with tags and borders for my scrapbook pages. This is one of my tags right here. I recently started making horizontal tags. I used to make all vertical tags, but now I'm starting to make some horizontal. So right here is a horizontal tag. This is a border that I made for Mother's Day. And I do 8.5 by 11 pages. I never do any other size. I started 20 years ago, and like this is my book of my family. It just continues. When it fills up, I start another book. This is like the 4th or 5th book of my husband and I. 8.5 by 11, you don't have a lot of options, I admit it, but the tags and borders are just really making life so easy for me, and I get to make the tags and borders, which I do enjoy. So this is a border. This is a photo of a little Halloween sign with Mickey and Daisy that I just cut that out and decorated the page with it. Sometimes I just use a strip of paper to fill in the sides and add an embellishment. This is an autumn tag that I made. This is a Christmas tag that I made. This is a Christmas tag, a small tag. This is a round embellishment. This is a sticker. I don't always use tags and borders. I use other things. Here I just filled it in with some scrap paper and added a smaller tag. Same with this page. Here's a birthday tag. So you get the idea. And I like to make them up ahead of time. I don't just make them as I make a page. So first off, I make what I call border bases, and I'm going to make a lot of those today. And I have this basket that I save all of my strips in, because when I cut down the 8.5 by 11 paper, I end up with strips like this from the side and strips like this from across the top. So I end up with a lot of strips, and then when the basket starts getting full, I make border bases, and then I have a box of border bases, and then when I want to play with my embellishments and stickers and stuff, then I decorate those borders and bases. And sometimes I use the border bases just as is. I don't add any more decorations to them. So I'm going to work on some border bases. I cut a lot of these strips. I have way too many too much yellow paper. I have this paper holder, and my yellow section is pretty full now. And then I also have a brand new package unopened, so I've got too much yellow. So I cut this apart, cut these up to make the base to glue onto, and then I made these to make the horizontal bases. So I'm ready to start gluing, and I went ahead and picked out some stuff to go together, and I'm not fussy at all. So we're going to start gluing these border bases. I tell you what, my life lately has been just crazy. In early December, I've been needing to get my basement waterproofed, and I got a couple of bids in the last spring, and they were way too high. So I saw an ad on Facebook, and I answered it like around Thanksgiving, and for waterproofing, and they were having a winter special, and they gave me a good price. So they did my waterproof to my basement like 2 weeks before Christmas, and so while it was since we had to take everything out of the basement and get it done, I decided we're going to put in a new laminate floor, we're going to put in some fresh paint, make it look nice. So we did, but that didn't go very well because I scheduled a week off to work on the house, and then they ended up postponing it for a week. So the week I had off was the week that they were actually doing the work, which I should have had the week after off. So they were supposed to take 2 days, but they were supposed to have like a 4-man crew, and they came out with 2 guys. So it took 4 days. So Friday, they worked Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, finally, I can start putting my basement back together. And the few weeks before that, like 3 weeks before that, I had been limping, and I don't know why. Where your thigh meets your body, where it folds, it had been hurting there when I walk. And a couple of weeks it was like that, and it didn't hurt anywhere else. And I got to go to the doctor. I kept putting it off. And then the 3rd week, it started hurting in my hip as well. So, and this was the week that we were moving stuff out of the basement into the garage. But when I was working hard, I had no pain. I was getting limbered up and no pain. The pain would go away while I was working. So then I decided I got to get to the doctor. So I did. She ordered x-rays. She thought there might be arthritis in that spot where it had been hurting. Nope, x-rays showed no arthritis. But she told them she also ordered a lumbar, my lower back x-ray. Well, she called me and told me that I have, you've probably heard this story if you've been watching my video, but she told me I have 2 discs, lower discs fused together. And I'm 61. I've been working my whole life, standing on my feet, and also at some point in my life, I don't know when, I remember hurting my back a couple of times over the years and not missing work or anything, but apparently I had fractured one of my vertebrae, and it has healed. And that's a lot to take in. And I'm not sure if she told me the other thing, but I didn't know about the other thing until just a few days ago. Just last week when I visited her again. Apparently, I have arthritis in my lower back. I didn't know that. So, back to the project. I spent the first day, I had to dismantle some stuff in the basement. Like I had the stairs surrounded and doors on them and shelves inside for storage. I had to dismantle all of that. So then on that Friday, I put that back together. They knocked some holes in the walls so they can trench under them. So I had 2 big holes both sides of the wall to fix. And I got that all done. And limping the whole time. By the end of the day, I was beat and sore. Well, I paid for it. The next day, I was in a lot of pain. But I pushed on. And, so, got a little distracted here. Okay. But I pushed on, and, so I'm in a lot of pain, and my back doesn't really hurt. I got some slight pain occasionally in my back, but it doesn't hurt at this point. And what's happening is I get shooting pain in my thighs and hips and that place where it started hurting. And when I move sometimes and trying to get out of bed and stuff and climbing the stairs, I could hardly even climb the stairs anymore. It was getting so hard. And then I went back to the doctor and well, no, before I went back to the doctor, I ended up going to the emergency room the morning at 3 a.m. Christmas night, the day after Christmas, and he gave me, it was the same hospital, so he looked at my x-ray, and he said that there's a like padding, I don't know what they call it, between your vertebrae, and my padding is pretty much shot. So great. He gave me pain medicine. He gave me a shot of morphine. I went home and went to sleep on that, but I still kept waking up in pain with it. And then he prescribed some pain pills, and I got those filled, and so I was taking those. And so I did go back to my doctor, and she prescribed anti-inflammatory and muscle relaxer, and that helps some. But meanwhile, I got to get this basement put back together. I got my garage full of stuff, so I pushed through. I pushed, and I got the painting done, and I got the floor installed. The floor was a nightmare. It was a nightmare. But I got it in. We got it done shortly before Christmas, a couple days before Christmas. We finished it up. Then, I visited my doctor, and I was supposed to go back to work after my week's vacation, but then she told me to take the next week off, the week of Christmas, which was Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then Thursday, Friday is Christmas Eve, Christmas Day. So I took that off, and then the next week, no, not any better. The week of New Year's, same as Christmas. Thursday and Friday is New Year's Eve and New Year's Day, which I have off anyway. So then she contacted I go to the clinic where I work. We don't have to co-care nothing. Yes?
You look for the blue folder that came to you.
Okay, I gotta go. Okay, sorry for the interruption. So, my back, I'm not sure where I left off. So, I've been going to physical therapy for my back, and I can hardly walk sometimes. It's getting better now. It's been a few weeks. I can hardly go up the stairs, and that's getting a little better. I get so tired so easily, though. And so I've been off work a month now, and I'm not sure when I'm going back, but so here's what happens now. Today is Thursday. Sundays I do my laundry. I went down to the basement to do my laundry, and there's water standing around the drain hole in the floor. Well, waterproofing is for water coming in through your walls, which was what we had before. It has nothing to do with your floor drain. So Monday, the next day, I called Roto-Rooter. I couldn't do my laundry. I called Roto-Rooter. They come out. It's $300 to run the snake down the drain. Yeah, do it. I gotta do it. So after some difficulty, they finally got it open. And meanwhile, this guy shows up. They called him. They said, we do mitigation for the damage because water has soaked up into your walls and under your floor, and well, I'd been kind of dealing with that for the last few years with the water coming in through the walls. But no, this is different because this is poopy water from the toilets. And it has soaked up under my brand new floor that I nearly killed myself to install a month before. I'm not happy. Well, they'll do mitigation services. They'll tear out the old flooring. They'll do all this and that, and insurance will pay for it. We'll even call your insurance company and file the claim. Fine. So I agreed to that, signed the papers. Then another guy comes along. And it's time for me to leave. I gotta go. I gotta go get to my physical therapy. So I don't have any time for this guy, but I went down the basement with him. And he had run a camera down the drain and was showing me how bad my drain was. You've got cracks, it's crumbling, blah, 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 blah. My house is 55 years old. He said drains usually last about 50 years. He says, we need to replace your drain, which includes trenching up your yard, breaking through the concrete in the basement floor. And I've already got a price for you. $18,000. I said, I can't do that. So I told him I have to go. I said, that's a lot to swallow. We will think about it. So I looked up online. They should average about $5,000. That's a big deal. It's not cheap. I know that. But it should average about $5,000. Not $18,000. I have a small basement. It's only 600 square feet. I have a not very large front yard. It's not huge or anything. I know it would be expensive. So I said, I gotta shop around. It's gotta be done, apparently. It's nothing to mess with. But I'm off work. I don't know if I'm gonna make it back to work. I hope I do. I can't take on this kind of debt. That's the price of a brand new car. A nice new car. The next morning I called another plumber. Part of their name was Sewer Solutions. Okay, that sounds good. And so they called me. They said we're going to be there in a little while. My phone rings again. It's the plumber from Roto-Rooter that wanted to do the $18,000 job. He said, did you decide? I said, yeah, I decided I'm not going to do it. He says, or I'm going to shop around, and I'm going to shop around and get some other bids. He says, well, another thing you can think about if you can't spend that kind of money is we have this tool that like spins around in there, and it can clean up your drain. And that might help you, but I'm not very optimistic about that because if you got cracks and holes, and that's not going to work for you. Well, okay. So these two young guys from this other plumbing company come. They said it's $99 to run. I have to pay $99 to run the camera down there because how else are they going to figure out what they're dealing with? Okay. And I believe they charged me $300. Roto-Rooter charged me $300 for running that camera down there. I paid almost $600 for Roto-Rooter. And then we're looking. He's showing me the video. We're looking. We're seeing residue, and it's not very clean. It's not plugged up at all. We're seeing a lot of crusty areas of the pipe that's, it's deteriorating over the years. These guys says, you do not need a new drain line. This one is fine. And then I mentioned something about the guy using that tool to clean it out, which he said was $1,000 to do. And he said, we charge $350 an hour, or no, $150 an hour for that. And it'll take, 2 or 3 hours. Yeah, let's do it. So, I'm so glad I called these guys. They are my heroes. It took them an hour and a half plus the $99, and they charged me $417. My drain's in good shape. Not no freaking $18,000. Roto-Rooter tried to rip me off. But in the meantime, I agreed to them to do mitigation in the basement. Now, and I said, oh, I can't pack things up and move things out of the basement again. I can't do it with my bad back. Well, you can hire a pack-up service. You know, there's companies that will take care of stuff. So, they said insurance will pay for it. They'll pay for all of it. Yeah, they'll pay for it. And then when I talked to my insurance agent, yeah, they'll pay for it. So yesterday they came out and packed up the basement. Oh my God, they were driving me crazy. I have one room that's storage, and it's just boxes that are packed up. And my brother lives down there in his room. He's got a ton of stuff. And the laundry room, there's not very much stuff in the laundry room. But they were packing stuff up and wrapping stuff, and oh my God, and using tons of their U-Haul boxes, which they charge you for everything. Well, I don't have to pay the bill, but oh my God, and they did everything to you know, to run up the costs. And some of my boxes, you know, I carried them down the basement stairs where they were going to sit untouched for months on end. And anything that's, we have to repack your boxes. I said no, you're not going to repack my boxes. We need to repack and rewrap them. No, you're not going to. Just take them out to the truck. I'll take the risk. Oh man, it took them like 5 hours, no, 6 hours to pack up the basement. But they were driving me crazy. And now this morning, it's 3 different companies. It's the pack-up company takes care of that, and then the mitigation is here right now. They ripped out my entire floor that I just installed, breaking my back. Makes me sad. Then they're cutting the drywall up 6 inches to replace that where water soaked into it. And if it was just water, I would have said no. I'm going to have to pay the insurance company a $1,000 deductible on this. So it's not cheap. But if it wasn't poopy water, just water seeped in from outside, I would have said, no, let's not do this. But because it was poopy water and the bacteria and blah, 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 I felt like I had to do it. So my floor is gone. The walls are cut out. And right now they're cleaning and sanitizing the floor and the bottoms of the walls. They're disinfecting right now. And tomorrow, the third company who will put the drywall up and put my floor back in and all the other details, they even took 2 doors out of their frames. Took them out of their frames, so that those have to be reinstalled. They're driving me crazy. Not as bad as the Packers yesterday. And the Packers hauled away my stuff in a truck, so I don't have to store it here. But when we did the basement last month, we have a 3-car garage, and the third space is my PT Cruiser that I don't drive in the winter. So we pulled that back over to the truck space, and the truck had to park outside, and I don't like that. But so this time I thought, screw it, just let them go store it. But they had to repack everything. They wrapped everything in plastic. They went to so much trouble that it was just insane. It's driving me crazy. So tomorrow, yeah, the company that's going to do the work is coming out. I've got these. I'm not going to put any strips on those. I'm not going to put any strips on that. I already did this one. And now I'm going to start doing some horizontal borders that I have set up. So tomorrow, they're just coming to look at the job and schedule it. And I don't know when they're actually going to do it. But I hope it's soon. But these guys said, I guess they're going to power wash the floor, disinfect it. And then they got these big fans. They have a dehumidifier and an air cleaner. And they're very loud and large. And they already had those running for a couple of days. They came that same night and installed and set those up. And they said something about 8 days to dry. Oh man. So that means probably most of next week they won't be doing anything. This is kind of hard to glue. I'll do what I can. It just makes me sick. All my hard work, hurting my back. Oh, and my back. I saw a commercial for a medication for psoriatic arthritis that said something about fatigue with psoriatic arthritis. So I'm like, what? I didn't know it comes with fatigue. Well, that explains a lot. Because I can't stand for very long. I get tired. I can't walk very far. Yeah, so, and my doctor never even mentioned the fatigue. So when I go see her again, I'm going to talk to her about that. And I want to go to a rheumatologist and my doctor's not telling me much, really. But I want to see a rheumatologist and get this under control and figure out how I stand and at what point I'm going to be ready to go back to work. One of my friends at work emailed me, a guy, and he says, when are you coming back, Sandy? Everybody's asking about you. And the place is falling apart without you. Because I'm the janitor, I keep it clean, you know. So that was kind of nice. But I need to get back to work. I have a 2019 Chevy truck. I'm making double payments on it. It's over half paid for. I've had it like 15 months. It's over half paid for. I don't want to go 5 years. And I got money in the bank. I'm making the payments, but that money ain't gonna last me forever. I gotta get back to work. And you know, boy, I'm talking to you today. I'm 61 and a half. For the last few years, I'm starting to see that retirement over the horizon. And you know, I've been working 43 years full time. Took off 6 months to have a baby. Took off about 4 months once when I was between jobs. But other than that, I've been working. But I've been, you know, and that's what you do. You just go to work. You don't think about it much. That's what you do. You go to work. Well, now retirement's just over the horizon. It's getting close. But you know what? I would rather be feeling good and working than feeling like I do now and not working. And if I go on disability, I'm going to make a lot less money. I don't want to go on disability. I'm on disability through my job. That's temporary. But I don't want to go on like Social Security disability. And sometimes I think about, boy, I have bad bunions, and sometimes I think it'd be nice if I would have bunion surgery or something wrong with me that I couldn't work, but I could spend all day playing in my scrap room. Well, here I am, but I'm not content. I need to get my life back to normal. At some point I'm going to make a video of me finish off a lot of these horizontal. Oh no, this thing has a whole bunch of holes in it, like lace. I'm not going to punch them out. I'm not going to do it. Anyway, I'm going to make a video of me finishing up and adding some final decorations to a lot of these horizontal. A lot of them are pretty close to being done. And I'm saving all of these little bits of print paper. And I'm going to also try to figure out how to cover some paper with those. You know, like what they call it, Frankenstein paper. I've tried it before. It's okay. I think I can do it. But those were bigger scraps. I have a lot of little tiny scraps. I dropped the strip. Okay. This is a sticker. I started doing these horizontal ones because of things like this right here that don't go on the page vertically. And my subbies who I've told about my legs and having a hard time walking up the stairs, I think I am improving a little bit. I'm going up and down the stairs easier now. Sometimes I take up a step and I feel a pain shoot down the back of my thigh or something. I'm sleeping better now. For the longest time since this started, I could not sleep on my back. But now I could sleep on my back, just flat on my back with my legs straight out. But now I'm starting to sleep on my side again, and I like sleeping on my side. Gotta go to physical therapy today at 4. I'm supposed to be doing these exercises at home too, but I am not a person to exercise. But I need to just do it. I need to. But I'm afraid of overdoing it. I use these borders all the time. I have made so many of them over the last few years since I started making them, but yet I don't have a lot because they're in my books. It's been kind of stressful with these people at my house doing my stuff that I should be doing myself. That darn floor that I put in. We usually buy like the $1 a square foot laminate flooring. And we thought, hey, I like this flooring. It's nice. Let's upgrade a little bit. It was like $1.79 a square foot. And when we were installing it, we worked on an area opened up a couple of boxes of it, and this stuff just would not lock together right. It just would not lock together right. And we've done it. We did our living room. That was like an all-day project. It was a living room entryway in the bottom of the stairs. And then we did the family room, which was 800 square feet. And then we did the kitchen, which is not very big. But we've got some experience with laminate flooring. We know how to do it. It's kind of tricky sometimes getting it in those grooves right without chipping up the grooves, but we know what we're doing. But golly, this paper, this laminate flooring just would not fit together. So we just took it all up after about 3 hours of fighting it. Took it all up and took it back to the store. I had 30 cases of this stuff. I took it back to the store, and then we went and looked to see what else they have. And we chose I think it's 68 cents a square foot. And the name was Easy Lock, or something like that, Easy Lock. So hey, let's try this. It says Easy Lock. Yeah, it worked. It wasn't me. It wasn't me. I know what I'm doing. Oh. So we got it installed. Took me 3 days to do one area at a time. But we got it. It was hard. It was... No, I think it took me 2 days. I did my brother's room one day. And then I started in the entry area at the bottom of the stairs. And then my husband came home from work, and he didn't have to work the next day, so he helped me finish up the laundry room and this... No, wait, it was 3 days. He helped me finish up the laundry room. And then the following day, we finished up, my brother and I finished up the storeroom. So yeah, it took me 3 days. And it would have been easily 2 days if my back wasn't hurting so bad. I had to get up and down and up and down and up and down. Every board, you know, get down to measure it, get back up to cut it, get back down to install it in place. Sometimes there was special cuts I had to get down 2 or 3 times to get that cut right. And but I got it. And now the floor's laying in my driveway. They're going to load it in their truck and haul it away. Yeah, life can be frustrating sometimes. But now I'm going to get my floor professionally installed. I hope they know better what they're doing than I do. Although sometimes you don't know. My basement does not have a lot of outlets, and so when we were redoing stuff, I called a handyman. I looked for an electrician, and I found a handyman. He said he could do it. He didn't know what he was doing. He did not know what he was doing. It was a terrible job he did. So then I found a second electrician, and I also had a light fixture. There's a light switch at the top of the stairs. It turns on the light at the bottom of the stairs, and also in the main front room, and we wanted those separated because my brother was going to move his bedroom in there, which he did, and we don't want the light coming on every time we come down the stairs. So this first guy, he didn't have a clue how to do that, but he said he could do it. He said he knew how. He couldn't do it. So the second guy, he fixed up the outlets that the other guy had cobbled up, and then he spent a little time figuring out the light switch thing, but he got it done. But these guys, they don't know what they're doing. Well, I gotta go, and I hope things get better for me, but I try to have a good attitude. It's all going to be over soon. Bye-bye.